Or you can just yell. But if you want to talk to the mic, I'm going to have a line right here. And I will start, because I love this film so much. Where was the inspiration? Where did the story come from?
The story came from, hi everyone, I'm Taika, nice to meet you. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the festival for having us. So the story came from, I grew up in that town where that film was shot, so we shot in like the house where I grew up, where the kids were acting and stuff, and so it was the same house that I grew up in. And I went to that school, and yeah, so that's my hometown. And when I was growing up, the school that the kids are at in the film, there were 30 kids there when I was growing up in the 80s. And when we shot there in 2009, there were 28 kids there. So, 2 escaped. But, yeah, I'm holding chopsticks because we were just at dinner and they sort of screwed up our meals. So we ran with the chopsticks. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, it was sort of loosely based on my childhood, but that didn't actually happen.
Alright.
I never had a goat.
Thank you. Next question.
How hard was it to make all the, the whole movie look really 80s?
Kid, did you recognize the 80s? Well, it was, well actually, I mean, that small town hasn't changed much, so, a lot of the houses are still the same as when I was growing up. So we didn't have to do too much, and a lot of, the cars and things like that are still in the area, so, we just sort of found local stuff. And so then we did a grade on the film, we changed the colours and stuff a little bit to make it look a little older.
How long was the shoot, and how many kids did you audition before you filmed it?
Okay, so the shoot was 8 weeks long, and but before that, I think we had the pre-production stuff. I mean, I think all in all, the whole film took about a year, sort of from shooting and then editing and everything. We auditioned, we auditioned about, I don't know, maybe 400-500 kids from around that area and around other towns in New Zealand, but most of the kids came from the neighbouring areas where we were shooting. So we didn't want to use kids from the city who didn't quite have their upbringing or know how to, because it's quite a different accent for New Zealand, so we don't really have well-spoken, clipped English accents in the country. But the kid who played Boy, we actually cast 3 days before we started shooting, because we had another kid who we were going through the rehearsal process and everything, and he was sort of growing up quite fast. He was hitting adolescence, and I couldn't have that. He had like a moustache that was almost as big as mine. His voice was dropping. And yeah, so I gave him another part of the film. He played one of the bullies, and then we found James, who just come in to be an extra, and he was cast. He was amazing when we did. And Rocky was just this amazing kid that was around, who's exactly like that in real life. You don't have to come all the way down here if you want to yell something.
So how much of that was scripted and how much was sort of improvised by the kids?
The whole thing was scripted, and they pretty much stayed on the page. They, yeah, there was one point that it was hard enough to get them to learn the lines just every day. They had to learn a stack of lines, but there was one experience with James, 2 days into the shoot, he was doing a scene, I think, in the classroom, and he called cut on the scene, and he said, no, cut. I said, what's up, man? He said, this doesn't feel real. It's pretty weird, but it was his first time acting. In fact, none of the kids had acted before. And yeah, he sort of said, I'm just not sure if I'd say it like that. So he, now and then he would make up some stuff. We would do a couple little intro takes sometimes just to listen out. Yeah. For the most part, it was good.
Was it hard filming with the goat? You know, did it do anything weird or?
Yeah, it was definitely hard.
How did you get it to lay down? Like, and it was it a fake? It was a fake one, right? When the car hit it, right?
Yep.
Or,
Yes, I'd say yes. No, it was a fake goat. And you just have to be nice to the goat. Get
it
it
was
to lay
only
down.
one goat, right? Or did you have like 10 goats?
You know what? You're right. There were more than one. There was more than one goat. First, like we had, I'm obviously in the story one goat, but we had backup goats, and so like we had these special goats that came in, and they were like highly trained goats. And one of the problems with shooting with these highly trained goats is that when we did the scene where the goat's lying on the ground and the kids, so the trainer had like. It was really nice to his goats, and so when he was training the goats to lie down and be still, he'd put them on mattresses. So they were like pampered goats. Used to like nice treatment and sitting on mattresses and stuff. So when we put him out on the road, it's pretty hard to get him to lie down because he wasn't comfortable on the sand. Wanted a mattress. Sandwiches and stuff. So it's always hard to work with animals. As they say. As you know. Yes.
Boy and Rocky now, what are they up to? How did the movie affect them as kids?
Boy and Rocky, what are they up to and how did the movie affect them? Well, they made a lot of money. Relatively. Not as much as me, but and they made it nice. I think James, who plays Boy, I think he really enjoyed the attention at the start, but then like a lot of the time, he comes from a small town where he still lives, and same with Rocky. And I think Rocky really loved all the attention, and there was a little news piece on him about 3 months after the film came out, and he bought a motorbike for his 9-year-old kid on a motorbike, moving around the neighborhood, sort of movie star. Small town. But James sort of, he's taking it in stride. He's doing a few other projects, some short films and stuff, and a lot of people want to work with him, but acting's not really his passion. He's more into marine biology. He loves fishing, so he wants to do that. He wants to be a hunter as well. He loves the outdoors. He's a real true country. Yes, sir.
Did Boy really like Michael Jackson, the actor?
When I finish with him, yeah. No, you know what? Funnily enough, we were casting the film, and this is before Michael Jackson departed. Before that, we were casting the film, and I was really surprised that a lot of kids were starting to listen to Michael Jackson's music again, and it was becoming popular up until 2 years before he died. So I was really pleased with that. So they were already trying to learn those dance moves at school and stuff. So